The SSI increase for 2024 is going to be $29 a month. Yes, you heard that right. So if you're on SSI benefits, you're probably disappointed by this COLA increase. Well, this video is for you. Today, I'm going to talk about the COLA increase, what it means for SSI benefits, and why COLA is even going to be smaller in the future. And then you want to stay to the end of this video because I am going to talk about two ways by which SSI beneficiaries can earn more money. So you don't want to miss that. So here is the list of things I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to review the COLA increase and the transparent process by which the Social Security Administration goes about doing this. You may disagree with the COLA number, but I want to show you how it's calculated so you have a better understanding of how it works so that next year, based on what you know about how it is calculated, you can predict yourself what you think is going to be next year so that you are prepared financially for it. And then I'm going to walk you through what the average COLA benefit is going to be for SSI beneficiaries and what your limits are going to be for resources, which is something you need to pay attention to because Social Security is trying to collect $21.6 billion in overpayments. So you don't want to go over that resources limit. And then I am going to share the future COLA predictions that we have seen so far. And then finally, which is the most important part of this video today, multiple ways by which SSI beneficiaries can earn more money. So there's a lot to cover. So stay with me. If you are new to this channel, I want to urge you to subscribe because all we do is bring you the latest news and updates about anything that's going to affect your Social Security SSI benefits. We want to be the first to let you know. So by subscribing, you'll be notified when a new video is released. So let's get right into it. So as you may have heard, the COLA for 2024 was 3.2%. Now, when you look at the COLA for the last 3 years, this was actually on the low side. And a lot of people were disappointed by it because they were expecting something bigger because of how much inflation we've had to experience the last few years and the fact that prices have gone up and stayed up. So a lot of you are struggling to make your SSI benefits basically make ends meet. And so you were hoping for a bigger color, and this was a disappointment. We've heard a lot of comments in our videos on this platform that people are very disappointed by this 3.2% cola. Well, if you compare it with cola on average over the last 20 years, it's been 2.6%. So even though this is disappointing, the fact is that it is higher than the average for the last 20 years. Now, you can debate whether cola has kept up with inflation, especially the inflation that affects people on disability. Medical inflation, transportation, food. Has the cola over the last 20 years really caught up with that? Well, that's something to be debated. But here is how it is calculated. Basically, every year in the third quarter, which is July, August, and September, the Social Security Administration will look at the Department of Labor Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers. So, this is a particular index that the Department of Labor tracks, and they release that information. Basically, they're looking at a list of goods and services that affect people, ordinary people: food, clothing, transportation, medicine, etc. And then they will compare the average prices of those goods and services for this third quarter versus the previous year's third quarter. So the 2023 third quarter versus the 2022 third quarter. If prices have gone up, then it means cost of living has gone up, and then there will be an adjustment accordingly to your COLA. So this is what and how the COLA is calculated. Now, if you go to the Social Security website, they have put the math there for you to be able to see how they arrived at the COLA of 3.2%. So this is what I'm sharing with you. They basically took the CPIW for July, August, September last year, compared it to this year, and that's how they calculated it. So I'm not going to bore you with the math, but I wanted to show you how it was arrived at. Next, just so that you can see how this compares to previous years, I mean, 8.7% cola last year was large. Typically, cola has been around 2.6%, but there have been months or years in the past where inflation has been so high that cola has been higher than you saw last year. For instance, in 1981, where it was 11.2%, 1980, where it was 14.3%. Those were periods. So between 79 and 81, cola was high because of high inflation that was experienced during the late 70s and the early 80s. So that is a period you can use to compare. So what does that mean for you today? I know that's why you're here. That's what you care about. Where the average cola increase, what it means for SSI beneficiaries is that last year you were getting maximum benefits of 914 if you're an individual and 1,371 if you're a couple. Well, this year, 2024, you're going to get $943. And as a couple, 1,415. Now, for individuals, that's a $29 a month increase in the maximum benefit. And that is the reason why a lot of people are disappointed. For couples, it's a $44 increase from what you were earning last year. Your resource limit, however, stays the same. And as I mentioned, resource limit is something you want to pay attention to because that is what triggers overpayments. And that's what a lot of people are receiving letters from the Social Security Administration asking them to pay thousands and thousands of dollars within 30 days, or their benefits are going to be cut until the overpayment is resolved. So it's very serious to pay attention to the resource limit because it is there for a very, very important reason. Now, as I mentioned, cola is predicted to continue to go down because inflation is expected to continue to trend down. Now, the Fed is very serious about pushing inflation down or on crushing inflation. So you can expect that in the next year, as inflation continues to trend down, cola will go that way. As you can see, in 2020, cola was 1.6%. In 2021, it was 1.3. And we've shown you in the past, there were some months where cola was 0%. And I can show you that in a second. In 2016, cola was 0%. In 2011, cola was zero. In 2010, cola was zero. It means that there was no price increase. When they looked at the CPIW for that year and the previous year, there was no measurable increase in price. And when that happens, it means that you're not going to get any increase in your cola. So, what does that mean for you? What can you do to be able to navigate this future where prices have gone up and stayed up, but your benefit cola, the cost of living adjustment that you're getting every year, is not enough to catch up with the inflation that we've experienced, especially medical inflation that has happened over the last few years. So, I'm going to give you two ways by which you can earn more money. You can stretch your budget, you can stretch your SSI benefit. And the first one is coming from the Social Security Administration. One way by which SSI beneficiaries who can earn more money is to work. Now, you are allowed to work under certain circumstances if you're on disability benefits. There are programs out there that you can take advantage of, like Ticket to Work program, that is not and will not affect your benefits. So you will not lose your disability benefits, your SSI benefit, if you start to work a little bit. But that is one way by which you can increase your earnings. But let me show you, for those who can, I know some of you cannot, you're not in a position to work, but for those of you who can do something, it is so important to try because I can show you how the math works. People may have told you things that are not true. If you're able to work and you make a little bit of money, it goes a long way. So this example that I pulled is an example of somebody working on SSI and making $500. Now, you don't get to keep the entire $500 because there are certain exemptions that have to be taken out to arrive at your countable income. And so this calculation is how it works. I'm not going to bore you with all of the details. I'll probably record a separate video about working while receiving SSI and SSDI. So in this example, you're getting $500, and based on all the deductions that they can take out of it, your total income that is excluded is $265. So your countable income becomes 132. You take that 132 from the 914, which was for last year's maximum benefit, and you arrive at $781. So that is the $781. That is what your disability check, if you're getting the maximum, is going to be. So even though your disability check is going to go from 914 to 781, you're still going to keep your $500. So now you add the $500 to 781, and you have $1,281. So you went from 914, because you worked and made 500, you lost $131, $32 of your benefits, but you gain $500 more. So now you have 1,230, and that is even if you use this year's new maximum benefit of $943, that is a 35% increase in the money you are going to get, which means that the $943 you would have gotten as a maximum benefit versus the 1,280 something dollars you will get by working and making $500. So as you can see, a little bit of work, if you are approved for it, and if you want the ticket to work program is a very, very good program. If you are approved for it, you should try it, because here is how your financial situation can change on a monthly basis. The next option is to apply for other government benefits you're eligible for. A lot of people on SSI do not know that they're eligible for other programs. Typically, people know they're eligible for Medicaid, but a lot of programs out there that you could be eligible for that you may not be taking advantage of. So I have gone, and this is also from the Social Security website, so you know it's coming from a reliable source. I have listed all the benefits that the Social Security Administration is listing as available for SSI beneficiaries: Medicaid, food stamps, which is SNAP, TAMF, temporary assistance for needy families. So if you have kids, you can get access to TAMF, affordable health insurance for children, state or local assistance based on need. So in your local community, your state may have programs for low income people that you may qualify for. Social Security, yes, there are some people who can get both Social Security and SSI if you are eligible by age. Medicare, yes, if you're a senior and you qualify for Social Security, you can get Medicare, and some people can get both Medicare and Medicaid based on your income. And then there are state programs that will help you save on medical costs, including premiums for Medicare, Part B, etc. So there are so many other, and this is just the programs that the Social Security Administration is listing. There are other state specific programs in your state that could be helping you pay for heating assistance, for transportation, and childcare, among others. So check with your state and find out what are the benefits that are available for SSI recipients. And you'll be surprised that there may be things that you may not have access to that you're eligible for. And then if you're on SNAP or food stamps or Medicaid, there are a lot of places you can go in terms of museums and other cultural places. If you have kids, by yourself, at a discounted rate or free, for free. Just Google museum, museum for free, and you will see that there are a lot of museums out there that reduce the entry fee or even offer it for free if you're on Medicaid, if you're on SSI, or if you're on food stamps. So, those are the two ways by which you can earn more by stretching your SSI dollars and getting these other programs, or actually working a little bit to be able to bring in more money in. I hope this was helpful to you. If you have any questions at all about Social Security, disability benefits, let us know in the comment section. If you are new to our channel, please consider subscribing so that you'll be the first to know when we have updates about anything that may affect your SSI benefits. So until we see you in the next video, thank you for watching.